This is the Cartoon News Network story on KTS Vaughn, also known as Big Cutthroat to Smoker, from the Chicago Street Gang, Kill to Survive, vs. NLMB, Kyro, aka Chicago's Joker. Kyro is from G Herbo's gang of homies, known as the No Limit Muskegon Boys, or NLMB. The beef between Smoker, the Joker, and their crews went viral after their infamous confrontation at McDonald's. Kyro, the Joker, was confronted by members of KTS, including Smoker, while trying to get something to eat. They told him to say F Rock. He refused, and got his jaw cracked. As soon as KTS left McDonald's, members of NLMB grabbed their guns and busted shots. We'll tell you if anyone got hit that day. Explain who Rock was, and introduce NLMB's top shooter, C-Money, aka Mad Max, into our story. Our series on the gang wars fought by NLMB begins with the story of KTS Vaughn, aka Big Cutthroat to Smoker, versus Kyro, Chicago's Joker. Devin Davis, better known as KTS Vaughn, began living a life where he felt that he had to kill to survive on December 1, 1993. KTS Vaughn was born to his mother, Lonia, and father, Vinny. He was raised with his three brothers, Dre, Vinny Jr., KJ, and their sister. He was a cousin of Zico, from 051 Young Money, whose murder was the start of bodies dropping in Young Money's gang war with THF 46. In 2008, THF Aki murdered Zico and fled to a relative's house in Indiana. It didn't take too long for federal agents to arrest him. Aki was later convicted of Zico's murder. Around this time, KTS Vaughn and his brothers would hit the streets. Dre started banging Lakeside with the Gangster Disciples. Vinny Jr. and KTS Vaughn initially claimed E-Block Vice Lords, before all of the brothers formed KTS, with their homies from 75th and Cottage Grove. KTS Vaughn grew up with people like KTS Rio Pasto, from Lakeside, Ronnie Mo, from Moose Block, and Denny G, from Pocket Town. Sometime around 2010, KTS Vaughn would start playing with guns and robbing people. In 2011, he caught No Limit Greg lacking and robbed him. 2011 was also the year that KTS Vaughn would take his first life. On April 9, 23-year-old Michael Lee, also known as Gotti, from the gang 8x13, was riding in the rear passenger seat of a Buick LeSabre on the 5500 block of South King Drive when gunshots from another car started coming his way. He grabbed his 9mm handgun, returned fire, but received 2 gunshot wounds to the head. His friends drove him to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His homies would rename their gang Gotti World in his honor. KTS Vaughn would repeatedly diss Gotti in drill songs, mock his death on social media, and had shirts printed up with his popular catchphrase, "Don't go Gotti."
On February 20, 2012, a group of No Limit soldiers were standing outside a liquor store on the 2500 block of East 79th Street, at the corner of Essex Avenue, when the group was sprayed with bullets. 2 people were killed. If you're a fan of G Herbo, be happy he wasn't one of them. Herbo was shot in the leg, and luckily survived his injuries along with G Fair O, and No Limit, Wet M Up. Gregory Alamo Glincy was a 57-year-old grandfather of 4 killed on the scene. Sure, he claimed No Limit in the 1980s and 1990s, but his gangbanging days were over. He knew most of the young guys from the gang, but he was just in the wrong place, at the wrong time. Jamal Rock Harris, on the other hand, was just 19 years old. He grew up with all of the most well-known No Limit members like G Herbo, Mad Max, and Kyro, Chicago's Joker. Before his death, he was a much-loved, outstanding member of NLMB. No Limit members started referring to their hood as Rock Block, in memory of their fallen brother. Many have mistakenly pinned this murder on KTS Vaughn, but Rock and Alamo were murdered by 2-4 and Mac Main from Lakeside. 2-4, real name Richard Miller, also known as BD Richie, was one of the few Lakeside members, a Gangster Disciple set, claiming Black Disciple. He died in 2015, from gunshot wounds suffered in 2014, after spending a year comatose. In one of KTS's No Lacking videos, BD Richie's literally standing on the exact same corner where he murdered Rock and Alamo, and said to the camera, y'all remember this face. Jermaine Sykes, also known as Mac Main, was implicated in the murder by a friend of B.D. Ritchie, who talked to the police about a conversation he overheard. Miller said that he and Sykes went to 79th and Essex, and shot at a large group of people standing outside the store. Miller said they were No Limit stones. Miller said they had a 9mm gun. He didn't say if he, or Sykes, was the actual shooter. It is important to debunk the misinformation that KTS Vaughn was known as a murderer to younger members of NLMB. Kyro claims that he didn't know who he was before their confrontation at McDonald's. Kyro had previously heard about KTS Vaughn's older brother, KTS Dre, from older NLMB members, because KTS Dre banged Lakeside. On October 24, 2012, Chicago's Joker would meet Big Cutthroat to Smoker and his brother, face to face.
Ain't no zipping enough. Say for rock. Get out with it. Don't be scared, Don't be scared, Oh, shit. Damn.
The gang, Kill to Survive, is known for their trademark tattoos of gun targets located on their necks. In July 2012, G Herbo and Lil Bibby dropped the drill classic, Kill Shit. They were well on their way to becoming rap superstars. Around this time, KTS Vaughn was trying to build his own buzz in the drill music scene. During the filming of his video for No Lacking Part 3, in October 2012, Big Cutthroat to Smoker, KTS Dre, Pasto, and other KTS members spotted Chicago's Joker, No Limit Kobe, and other young No Limit members in Mickey D's grabbing something to eat. KTS Dre, who was several years older, starts pressing Chicago's Joker to say, "Fuck rock." To his credit, Kyro refused to diss his dead homie, and got punched in his jaw for his courage under pressure. NLMB Moody suddenly appears from the bathroom with that thang protruding from his sweatshirt. KTS members left McDonald's feeling pretty good about the footage they got while chasing clout. They thought that they caught members of a famous rapper's entourage lacking. They were wrong. No Limit Kobe, Moody, and Chicago's Joker were all packing heat. That's the reason why Kyro was trying to unzip his jacket. As we review the events from that day, listen to someone tell Kyro not to unzip his jacket. And listen to KTS Vaughn say, "Damn folks."
Damn.
After his brother punched the Joker. Make no mistake. KTS went into McDonald's chasing clout. They didn't walk into a public place, without masks on, to commit murder. They just wanted to catch their ops lacking. They weren't. No Limit Kobe, Moody, and Chicago's Joker followed KTS outside of McDonald's, and busted shots. He didn't know it at the time, but KTS Vaughn's homie, Pasto, would get shot in his arm, while the smoker continued filming his video, laughing like a crazy person.
Say for rock. Ain't no zipping enough. Say for rock. Get out with it. Don't be scared, Don't be scared, Oh, shit. Damn. Hey, it ain't shout out to the cutthroats, man. They still breathing. It ain't late. Now you to a boss, man. Alright, we cool. Don't slow down. Now get back to the hood, man.
Now, it's time to debunk the theory that KTS Vaughn and his brother, KTS Vinny, murdered Carlos, Big Lowe's Alexander, from NLMB. The 33-year-old, father of four, was murdered in front of his crib, on the 7900 block of South Escanaba, a week after the Joker and a smoker met face to face. Big Lowe's was murdered on October 29, 2012. 4 years later, on July 18, 2016, Adonis Johnson was arrested for his murder. It was alleged that a friend of Adonis was shot early in the morning of October 29, 2012. Adonis got pissed, grabbed his gun, spotted Big Lowe's, who he recognized as a member of NLMB, and shot him to death. Adonis was released from jail soon afterwards, due to lack of evidence. He was shot to death a few months later in No Limit territory, on the 2800 block of East 79th Street. The arrest was made based on the confession of his unidentified co-conspirator, whose name is redacted in the paperwork. According to official documents, the unidentified man died of natural causes on December 3, 2016. So, that's another body, credited to the smoker, that he didn't smoke. We're also going to debunk the theory that KTS Vaughn killed No Limit Kobe. But, before we do, let's talk about another murder credited to KTS Vaughn that we actually believe he committed. On May 25, 2013, KTS Vaughn and some of his homies were out, sliding on ops, when they spotted Pharaoh from the Sircon City Gangsters. Pharaoh had previously dissed a smoker's dead homie, Ronnie Moe, representing Pocket Town, and Bloodstone 091, several times. Pharaoh was taking out the trash on the 7300 block of South Dorchester when he was caught lacking. KTS Vaughn allegedly hopped out of the car and shot him 8 times in the head. It was a dirty kill. Pharaoh's face was unrecognizable. There really wasn't much left of it. After dropping his second body, KTS Vaughn tweeted, "Pharaoh, from Sircon City, new name, fried face." And, damn, I tweaked. I added Pharaoh, but his face fried and shit. He can't add me back. LOL. Deadass Cirque, fuck Jono and fried face. Pharaoh's girlfriend wrote, "Disrespectful bitch. I can't wait till MFers catch you, bitch. We're going to make sure you don't get a funeral. Fuck you, and all your dead niggas, bitch." To which the smoker replied, "Pharaoh's bitch. You know Pharaoh, caught face shots." Obviously, KTS Vaughn was willing to kill a nigga for dissing his dead homie. So, what would he do to a female that murked something on Ronnie Moe's name? Stay tuned to find out, but before you do, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying our show.
Bitch, I ain't asked you that.
Antonio, wait, tweet me. When I used to know tweet me before I. That's how I knew David.
I don't give a fuck about none of them people like that you just said. I was asking the only one.
That's how I knew him. Just tweet me. Told me my brother.
Y'all was homies?
No, we weren't homies yet.
I ain't heard that shit on other shit on one.
Yeah, I just told y'all I knew.
The narrative that they gave was I was a thought that he snapped or put something on Ronnie Moe.
Okay.
But that's not what happened. People gotta understand that I wasn't a female from KTS for being pretty. I wasn't everybody, like I was a part of the hood. Like
Right.
I was a real soldier. So the same that happened to happened to God.
Right.
I didn't necessarily get smacked for merchant on him. It was the situation, just period. The issue was when I started gangbanging. Like I said, I grew up in the hood, but I didn't. My parents is not hood. Like I grew up in a mansion on 67th and Creek. I didn't grow up in the project, so a lot of was different to me. But it was a lifestyle I chose. So when I started gangbanging, I just thought because I was from somewhere, you know how you hear people merchant on people.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't my little dumb didn't know no better. Like I just was outside one day talking to one of the guys. And I happened to say like on Ronnie in a sentence. I guess they call Ron. And asked him like, yeah, Gotti over here merchant on Ronnie. Do she know him? But I had no knowledge of none of this, you feel me? So by the time I got to the trap, because it do hit different, I was living with them. So that's why I had my school uniform on. I snuck out the house, told my mom I was going to school, and I went on the block. So I got violated.
The Kill to Survive gang really had a bad reputation when it came to how they treat women. KTS Vaughn was known for beating on women and spitting in their face. KTS Rio's relationship with O-Block's J Money's baby mama was so violent that King Von attempted to intervene on her behalf to no avail. Despite this, King Von and KTS Vaughn were actually cool with each other, according to Denny G from Pocket Town, even though the smoker kept O-Block and Team 600's name in his mouth, chasing clout.
Oh, Ronnie, I bet you y'all ain't know Vaughn. My brother Vaughn, y'all ain't know him and Vaughn, folks. Him and this nigga King Vaughn was like this. Ronnie B. Arthur's, folks. Nigga never even believe that or know that, folks. My brother Vaughn, nigga, and King Vaughn, nigga, they was like this, bro, on Ronnie. That's how I even know who the fuck King Vaughn ever was. I never heard about a King Vaughn and shit till like 2014, folks. Now this was like 2015. Vaughn told me about him. Vaughn was telling me he was locked up with him. That's his shorty, all type of shit on Ronnie. Bro, that's your shorty, you beat the kid like motherfucker. He boy folks in that bitch, boy, treat motherfucker. Shorty like that for real. That's my shorty. Alright.
While KTS Vaughn and King Von may have developed a friendship in jail, the smoker's body count does not compete with King Von's. On August 10, 2013, Jacoby Heron, better known as No Limit Kobe, decided to walk home, while his homies continued to shoot dice, at 4 o'clock in the morning. They asked him if he needed a ride back to the crib. He refused because he was only a couple of blocks away from home. No Limit Kobe was hit with several bullets as he walked past the infamous McDonald's, where the Joker got punched in his jaw. The Joker, G Herbo, and others grabbed their guns and headed to McDonald's when they heard gunshots, but it was too late. Their friend was laying on the ground, dead. Many have credited KTS Vaughn and his homie, Posto, for the hit. But again, police reports tell a different story. The police investigation pointed in a different direction, to another one of NLMB's main ops, Black Mob. Shooter Shells and AWOL are the two people suspected by the police of killing Kobe. So, the only murders allegedly committed by KTS Vaughn, according to the streets, that are not debunked by the police, are Gotti and Pharaoh.
In 2014, No Limit Soldiers almost killed the smoker. He was caught lacking by Crazy James from No Limit and shot in the chest. The smoker, somehow, miraculously survived a bullet that almost struck his heart. On June 23, 2015, the smoker was shot to death as he walked down the 7500 block of South Ellis by Mad Max and Choppa from No Limit. The day before the murder, Choppa and the smoker were beefing on social media. Immediately after the murder, Mad Max changed his social media handle to the smoker. And Choppa posted a picture from a safe house with his gun. NLMB got the smoker's location from his former friends. After his son's death, Big Vinny went on a rampage. A year later, Big Vinny was killed on July 25, 2016, by Devontae Murray, also known as KTS Rasta. According to a confidential informant, he and Vincent Davis Sr. were friends, and both conservative vice lords from the area of 75th and Cottage Grove. The informant related, he knew who had shot Davis Sr. He related there was an internal conflict within the CBLs, beginning when an unidentified victim was shot in the face, and survived. He stated, Devin Davis, the son of Vincent Davis Sr., was supposedly the offender who shot the unnamed victim. The informant stated, Vinny Jr. was also CBL, but had started the Cutthroat faction. The informant stated, CBL leaders decided that members couldn't branch out, and Devin was subsequently murdered in the area of 75th and Ellis. The informant stated, Vincent Davis Sr. then sided with the Cutthroat faction, and CBLs started dropping like flies. He stated, CBLs became upset with Vincent Davis Sr. for playing both sides of the dispute. Harper stated a CBL was murdered on Mother's Day, and then, Booby, the brother of CBL Devontae Murray, was murdered near 76th and Drexel. He stated, Devontae Murray blamed Vincent Davis Sr. for the murder of his brother, and wanted to retaliate, and murder Vincent Davis. In July 2021, KTS Dre was released from Cook County Jail on gun charges, after his girlfriend posted $5,000 to bond him out. He was immediately ambushed by gunmen in 2 cars, that riddled his body with dozens of bullets. KTS Dre was murdered right outside of Cook County Jail. So, the Joker outlasted the smoker in their gang war, and he's now recovering from his intense fear of McDonald's.
Finna go face my fears, man. Going to McDonald's for the first time.
You crying, bro?
Yeah. Finna go face my fears, man. First time going back to McDonald's. Ever since the incident and shit. How you doing? Y'all sell knuckle sandwiches? Knuckle sandwiches.
No.
You done?
Nothing sounds.
Y'all ain't got them? Person who was giving them out, they probably ain't here no more.
What's on a knuckle sandwich?
You know what kind of cheese?